am pissed. And I'm not pissed because I am getting my windows replaced and I have no blinds right now, so I have to be content with what the sun is giving me. And clearly my complexion does not go well with that because it's turning me into Casper the Friendly Fucking Ghost. I'm pissed because TikTok banned me off my accounts. First of all, I haven't been able to get into my main TikTok account in probably a year, maybe more, maybe a little less. But I deleted TikTok off my phone a while ago because I was thinking it's too much for me. I'm on it all the time. We've all done sort of a TikTok detox at some point. A detox, if you will. Is that something? I don't know. We've all deleted it off our phone at some point, or at least thought about it. And I did. And I had it off my phone for a really long time. And then I wanted to start posting some stuff in regards to like the coffee and things like that. So I re-downloaded it onto my phone. Couldn't get back in. I tried my email. I tried the passwords I thought I had. I didn't have it saved somewhere. Maybe I should have done that. I tried every single sort of credential that I have to try and get in. I got into an account that wasn't even mine. Somebody made it up with my email. Somehow managed to get that one. But every time I tried to log in to my TikTok account, it said too many attempts, try later. And that was on the first attempt. Sometimes I would try no attempts and it wouldn't let me in. And then I tried it on a different phone, didn't let me in. Tried it on my desktop, didn't let me in. Either told me that I had too many attempts, or it never told me that the password was wrong. It always just told me that something else had gone wrong. There was an error, too many attempts. I'm logging in from an unknown device. It just wouldn't let me back into the account. We tried reaching out to TikTok multiple times. They're awful at their customer service. This is a call out post for TikTok's customer service, by the way, because fuck them. They have no idea what they're doing. They're god awful at interacting with anybody. God forbid a profile that has like 5 million followers on it tries to get back into their account, but there's no one there to talk to. Whenever we reached out to them, they were like, okay, let's see if we can help with that. They came back, asked what phone I created the account with, what iOS I had, where I was when I set it up, what date, did I buy anything with money from the TikTok store? I was like, okay, so they're asking for all this information, and if I can give them some information like that, I'll be able to get back into the account. They'll know it's me. It's like, oh, what's your date of birth and your mother's maiden name and your dog when you were a kid and what school did you go to? And like, you can sort of get a picture. I gave to the best of my abilities this information. It has been years since I started any of that stuff. I wasn't in Ireland when I did it. I kind of remember what phone I was on. God fucking knows what iOS I was on. I don't know. So I gave them the best of my abilities, the knowledge that I had to get back into that account. And they said, sorry, that's wrong. Try again. And we tried again. No. They just keep saying no. There's no one to be like, okay, let's get on a call. Like, how much verification do you need? Go to Google, search Jacksepticeye or Sean McLaughlin. I tend to show up. I'm making this video right now to be like, hey, it's my TikTok account. It's the 27th of September when I'm recording this at 5:19 p.m. Do you need a fucking newspaper like a hostage? Like, what do you need from me? It's my face. It's my account. All the posts that have been made on that account match this profile. You know, like, what else do you need? Just put me on a phone call with somebody. Help me go to a room with somebody. Surely you have somebody in London that I can go see to talk to. I remember going to VidCon years and years ago, and they had people there that got me verified on TikTok. Like, where are those people now? How can I not get in touch with anybody? I've tried every avenue. But it gets fucking worse, okay? We then set up a Spadicey TikTok account. We set up because the Spadicey is like the second channel that I have now where most of the non-gaming stuff is going to. And we ended up setting up an Instagram and a TikTok to try and diversify the posts, videos that are going up there, put them on those profiles to not bog down main profiles, spread stuff around, have a great time, just have fun with it. But then, within a week of setting up the TikTok account, they banned the Spadicey account for, get this, impersonation. They banned my account for impersonating myself of an account that I'm no longer allowed into. How are you going to look at me and say, like, yeah, that's you. Yeah, you're impersonating that thing. But then also not look at me and go like, we don't really want to let you back into the main account though, because we don't know if that's you. Make it make sense. It makes no fucking sense. I'm at the end of my tether with this. It's so fucking stupid. And then I tweeted about it to try and like put some pressure, put the clamps on someone's nipples to try and like get some information. You know, I don't like making these types of videos whenever something's going wrong. Because in the grand scheme of things, it's a TikTok account. Is my life going to survive? Yes. But also, when I made that post about it, so many other friends and like people I follow or other people that are creators responded to it or DM'd me that were like, this exact same thing happened to me, wasn't able to get back into my account, had to make a new one. How fucking dumb is that? TikTok is a creator-led economy. If people aren't uploading stuff there, you're not making any money. My TikToks are doing well. Wouldn't you want me, even for your own greed, to be able to get back into my own account? To be able to post so you can make money off of it? God knows I wasn't making any money off of it. I've never made a penny off of TikTok content. You were making all the money. Let me back in. Let me make you money. I just want to have fun. I just want to be able to post to my TikTok account and not have to make a new one. God, it's so fucking dumb. At least when stuff in the past had ever gone wrong with Twitter, which, I mean, shithole now. Twitter used to be my favorite place to go, but it's terrible now and you can't go there and it's just not fun to interact with anymore. But Twitter and Instagram, at least I used to have people that I'd be able to go to. You know, that's one of the privileges or the fortunate benefits you get when your account is of a certain size, that at some point somebody from these places are going to reach out and tell you about like upcoming features and shit like that. So at least you have a contact. But TikTok, no. Imagine being a smaller creator. Imagine being someone whose livelihood actually revolves around TikTok. Like my livelihood doesn't revolve around TikTok. It's something fun that I get to do and like upload silly little videos here and there, and I actually enjoy doing it. But now I can't. I have one place actually that I'm still logged into my TikTok, and that's my old desktop before the one that Nvidia gave me here. I have another desktop that I have at the office, and that's the only thing that's still logged into my TikTok, and I'm afraid to touch it. I'm afraid to go near it. I'm convinced that someday I'll turn it on, go to my browser, and it'll say that I'm logged out, and then I'm legitimately locked out of it forever. You can still upload TikToks through your desktop, so if push comes to shove, I can still technically do it. But why is this so difficult? Why is any sort of content creation so difficult in 2025? We have a whole... You know what? This is just going to be the video where I get shit off my chest and I rant about the shithole that is content creation in 2025. On YouTube right now, it's the most annoying it's ever been to upload content, at least from my own personal experience. Mileage will vary depending on when you got into the platform and what type of content you upload, etc., etc. But for me, I've been doing this 13 years, like in November. So I've been doing this for a very long time. And at some point earlier in the year, something happened. I said it in another video on the Spidacy channel where I talked about Stop Killing Games, and I said I'm uploading it here because something's going on with my main channel and I don't know what it is. And I reached out to YouTube about it and they never give you an answer. And then the main problem was that views just seem to like disappear out of nowhere. And sometimes it's like, oh, people aren't into this game, this format, and then another video will do better. But it just, something was off. It's one of those things that you can look at it metrically and kind of like poke here and there. But when you've been doing it this long, you can just kind of like feel it in your bones and trust your instincts. And it wasn't like people are on holiday from school or something, because that's usually down, but it was never like this. And then talking to them about it, nothing really came out of it until way later, and they said something about search functions had changed, but they can't give you definitive answers because they don't want to give concrete statements on anything, because then some dude like me will make a video about it. But people then went on about their business, and then all of a sudden I was like, okay, I can't talk about this because it just makes me feel like a crazy person. It seems to be only happening to me. So I'll just kind of like keep quiet and keep trudging along and keep making my thing. I don't know. And then suddenly more and more people started to talk about it. People started coming into like my DMs and saying like, I'm also having weird issues happening. Do you know what's going on? And I didn't have an answer for it. And then as time went on, more and more people started talking about it, and you'll see people like Linus Tech Tips were talking about it. Josh Strife made a really good video about it recently. You can go to his channel to look it up, talking about desktop views on August the 12th. Now, my experience of what was going on happened way before that, but on August 12th, he was showing metrically in the analytics that something had changed, like desktop views were just down. And a ton of other YouTubers and streamers and everybody who upload content on YouTube all came out of the woodwork and said the exact same thing was happening in their analytics. And suddenly I didn't feel so crazy. And then TLDW, it came out that their ad block views had somehow vanished, and they've been fighting ad block for a long time, trying to get them off the platform. What ended up happening, I think, is that when they blocked ad blockers from being able to watch YouTube, those people just didn't watch anymore, or those videos were not real or something. Either way, views across the platform for a great many YouTubers seems to have just dropped by like a third. And the same thing was happening for me. And now it's like you upload a video and the same views you were getting in 24 hours suddenly aren't the same. Suddenly it's way lower and it takes like a week to get those views that you normally did. I don't understand what's happening. It's never been so difficult to upload content and just serve it to my community. I think algorithmically driven content has always been sort of a tricky beast to deal with. But now more than ever, it feels like I'm such a visual person, so I'm always trying to like justify it in my head with analogies and visuals of like what's actually happening. So for me, it feels like back in the day, I was in the club uploading content, and fans who subscribed showed their ID at the door and were like, "You're a subscriber, come on in and watch." And it was great, and we were all just having a good time and having fun. But now this fucking algorithm feels like it's a bouncer at the door dictating who's allowed into my content. Granted, a lot of this stuff is made for a reason. A lot of this stuff got to do with like viewer fatigue, trying to keep just the ungodly amount of people that are watching YouTube, to keep their focus on this platform, keep them fed, keep them interested, keep them engaged, especially when you have competition like Reels and TikTok and everything going on. I understand why it exists. I understand why algorithms are the way they are. But in my whole career, just uploading content and having fun and doing what I wanted to do always just felt like the right thing to do. I was following my own compass and my own North Star. And between last year and this year, it feels like more than ever, I have to think about what I'm uploading than I ever have before. And some of you will sit down and be like, "Oh, boo-hoo, poor little famous man." And I get it. I completely understand that side of things as well. I'm just trying to explain from my perspective what it feels like and why it's kind of demotivating to even upload at all. And maybe some other YouTubers can chime in and be like, "Hey, I feel it as well. It makes me not want to upload either." But between the titles and the thumbnails being more important than ever, this algorithm picking and choosing what goes out to people more than ever, YouTube feels like they killed the subscription tab. Now, a lot of you who are watching this probably go to the subscription tab, but that's because you are the dedicated viewers who will always go to the subscription tab. But in my experience in the past, like 70% of the big views that came into a YouTube channel were like browse features, suggesteds, home features, like just showing up on people's algorithms on the homepage. But now it seems like they've clamped down on that so hard that they've trained people not to go to the subscription tab at all. So it feels like subscribers don't even matter anymore. It feels like subscribers on your YouTube channel haven't mattered for years, that no one really cares about them. It's not a metric for how many views you get or who's engaged with your audience anymore, because people aren't going to the subscription tab. You subscribe to something and sure, you're going to watch it, but if you lapse on watching a few videos, which happens, I do it too, but then it just stops serving it to you. Like, I subscribed to that because I liked something they were doing. Just because I didn't watch 3 videos in a row or something, I don't know what the metric is, doesn't mean you should stop serving it to me at all. I don't get it. In a lot of ways, again, I'm not good at the analytics side of YouTube. I never have been. I'm not good at seeing the whole like macro picture, gaming algorithms to get views. The thing I've always done is just have fun playing games, upload it, people get to watch, the personality comes through, the audience have a good time. Maybe it's just a change in internet culture. Maybe it's a change in my content. Maybe it's a change in the vibe of the channel. I don't know. A lot of stuff is hard to quantify, like, oh, the vibe is different. But when you have this algorithm like dictating what goes out to your audience so heavily these days, it just feels sort of crippling to sit here and be like, should I upload that? Nah, I don't know. I don't really want to risk it because will it fuck everything up? I don't know. You know, I've never really thought that way about my content until like the last year, and it sucks. I don't really want to know what to do about it other than maybe I need a break from making things. Maybe I've gotten too cynical and jaded about it all. I don't know, but I love this platform. I love making YouTube videos. I love interacting with people, and I love the whole, I don't know, YouTube did a lot for me over my life and kind of like saved me in a lot of ways. So I want to still do it. And a lot of people will just be like, dude, just fucking retire, or dude, just stop uploading or stop complaining. And I get that too. That is always the possibility, but I don't know. I like being able to say where my mind is at and what my thoughts are. And even now I'm like, damn, should I even upload this video? I don't know. It just sounds like I'm complaining, and I don't want it to make it feel like I'm just complaining because woe is me. But I genuinely do like making things, so I want to keep making things. I just don't want so many other factors dictating if what I make is good enough for the people who clearly just want to watch what I'm doing. As always, I just dumped what was in my head as it came to my brain, and I don't even know if there's a salient point in this. If anything, I might just be here to vent. Let me know what you guys think, what it feels like watching YouTube these days, what it feels like being a fan of content and engaging with it. It just doesn't feel like it. They even brought out all this. That's what I meant to talk about. All of the shit with AI that's coming out, whether AI is going to determine if you're above 18 or not, that you can watch someone's content now. I don't know how much that's come into effect and changed people's viewing habits yet, but that also happened around the same time that massive view dips happened for everybody and people started talking about it. But they're also bringing in the fucking AI generated shorts thing where you can just put in a prompt. You know, you can go to ChatGPT or what, fucking Midjourney or whatever. DALL-E was an early one. I don't even know what AIs are around these days because I don't use them. But you would go in and just write a prompt and it would make the picture for you, make the video for you, make the sentence for you. But now they're bringing it into YouTube Shorts where you can just put the prompt in and it'll make the fucking short for you. It's also interesting that the videos they chose to show off this feature were all animals. It was like a peacock in New York City eating a hot dog, a gorilla playing piano, that kind of stuff, because people will look at animals and go like, haha, funny, cute. Oh, I get it. Animals aren't people. But if they started showing people in the content, then people would be like, wait, that's fucked up. Like someone can just put in Jacksepticeye fights Mr. Beast, because that will be a thing people will make, obviously. And then that'll show up. And then it's up to me to put up a thing saying like, hey, my likeness is being used in this. Please don't do that. Like that's absolutely fucked. Do you realize how many people's content and likeness and like how much stuff is going to get stolen, but how many times it's going to put people in scenarios that they don't want to be in? Like, I don't know. That's opening Pandora's box, and that's opening the floodgates to changing YouTube into a platform that's not why I started being a YouTuber. Imagine me, fucking early 20s, depressed, had no friends, went to YouTube because I wanted to interact with real people and have friends. And as parasocial as that is, it did work. It did help me. It made me feel less depressed and lonely. It made me sort of feel good about myself, that what I was uploading, it like mattered. I don't know, there's an argument in psychology for what that was doing to me at the time. But now if someone's feeling that way and they go to YouTube, they're not even going to be interacting with people. They're going to be like, we already have a bot problem on the platform. Now they're going to be interacting with shorts that are like, Jacksepticeye played game that I wanted him to play, but he didn't actually play it. Jacksepticeye plays Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4. And then there's going to be clips of that. And people don't even care about full videos anymore. They're just going to look at the clip and go, oh, I can't believe he said that about that game that I like. Like, you can just make rage bait that way. It's so fucked. Why is that a thing that's allowed to exist? And they're going to bring in versions of it now that's like, oh, but we made it safe. And we made sure that we did it properly and all this crap. But eventually it's just going to take over. And I'm not trying to be like, I'm aware that AI is going to happen. We all are. As much as you want to shake your fist at it, that it's bad, and I do think it's bad, and I hate it, and I don't want it to take out the creative human element of artistic and creative things. I know that it's going to start taking over platforms. I know that it's going to start interfering with everything. I'm not naive. I'm not stupid. You'd think I'm stupid. But God, that doesn't mean you should just like open the floodgates and let it have free reign and just, fucking do it. They also have another one where it's like they have a bunch of poses and movements and things that you can do. And then it's like upload a picture and then it can go on the wireframe. And then it can be, you can have a movement of like, let's say somebody uploads them doing a K-pop dance and they're like, this is royalty free. You can use it. Here's a section of Shiny's Sherlock. I've always wanted to learn that dance when I was younger. So then you can upload someone doing that with a picture of me and then it fuses both together and then boom, Jacksepticeye is doing Shiny's Sherlock dance. And so many people are going to use it to just make money. And I get it. That's what it's all about. But as someone who has never really been driven by that aspect of it, even though it's a very nice byproduct of what I'm doing, it's afforded me a lot of incredible things. I get to do my paint hobby without any sort of restrictions. It's amazing. But it's never been the thing that's like motivated me to make the content. What is happening? I don't know. I feel like we're at this sort of like cliff edge and we're looking over into the fucking abyss and stuff's going to get worse. And it's up to me to adapt. It's up to me to not use those tools. But if they start promoting, people do the things that gets rewarded. You think people upload the types of videos that they do, like a Mr. Beast video gets uploaded if it didn't get 1 billion views? You think people wouldn't imitate that shit if it didn't work? Like people they're being Pavloved into doing what YouTube's algorithm rewards. You do something, even in the gaming space. I'm guilty of it as well. I upload one episode of something, it does really well. You upload another episode of it. But where the limit of that is quite scary. If you're uploading shorts that are prompts from an AI where you just sat here and typed out a sentence and that gets 400 million views, you're just going to double down on that and keep doing it. Like where's the limit? Where's the stop? It's fucked. I feel like an old man yelling at clouds. Can someone make that meme? I don't know. I don't want to just be all complainy all the time. There's so many times now where I'll talk about something that I'm passionate about and someone will clip it and it'll go up on TikTok and TikTok's comments are the fucking worst. And they're like, oh, isn't he a millionaire? Why is he talking about being depressed? He should just shut up and play video games. He has the easiest job in the world. And I understand where people are coming from. I get it. I totally understand how you can be in that headspace and think about that. But that doesn't mean I should stay quiet about the things that I'm passionate about that are bothering me. If you don't like it, that's fine. But I'm going to be here talking about it anyway, because honesty and being genuine and transparent with people is kind of what I enjoy most about being a YouTuber, that I can do that. I don't want that driven out of me because an algorithm has trained people to think it's bad, or that I should be posting rage bait more because you know what sucks? I went to a YouTube event a couple of years back. It was right after Will Smith clapped Chris Rock's cheeks when he slapped Chris Rock across the face. And we went to a YouTuber event and they flew us out and everything. And I was like, you know what? I'll go to some of these seminars because it's nice of them to fly us to Spain for this event. And we went and we sat down and the thing they were talking about was how to make content and go viral. And one of the things was like, one of the things that happened recently was Chris Rock got slapped by Will Smith. Think about how you can make videos about this. Here we have a number of people making videos about this and it did really well for them. So you should think about incorporating that into your content. How fucked is that? That's so dystopian to be like, this horrible thing happened on stage where someone assaulted someone else. And sure, it's a meme and it went viral and you can make fun of it, but they're basically saying like, talk about drama, talk about rage bait because it just does well. And you want views, right? You should just double down on that. And me and Evelyn sitting there as gamers being like, how do I make a gaming video about Chris Rock getting slapped by Will Smith? Is there a Happy Wheels level about it? Is there a Fortnite thing I can do? It's just the thing of like, here's this viral moment. How do you fold that into the content you're already making? But nowhere in that seminar were they like, just be you. That was always the advice I gave to people when I was starting out on YouTube, and now that's not really viable anymore, is it? I know I don't want to be doom and gloom about it, but it's pretty fucking depressing to see what the platform's turning into. Anyway, TikTok, give me back my account, please.